A dubious dance: Trump, Putin, and the Ukraine war. The world watched in disbelief as Russia launched its brutal invasion of Ukraine. It was a dark day for democracy and international order. Former U.S. President Donald Trump, known for his unconventional approach to foreign policy, made a series of pronouncements and actions that raised eyebrows and fueled concern among allies. His shifting stance on the Ukraine war, coupled with his history of interactions with Russian President Vladimir Putin, became a subject of intense scrutiny. Trump's pronouncements on the conflict were often contradictory, adding to the confusion and uncertainty surrounding his true intentions. His public pronouncements on the conflict often veered between criticism of both Putin and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. This seemingly balanced approach, however, masked a deeper undercurrent of ambiguity that left many wondering where his true allegiances lay. Shifting sands: Trump's evolving position. From the outset of his presidency, Trump expressed a desire to improve relations with Russia. He saw Putin as a strong leader with whom he could negotiate and strike deals. However, this desire for rapprochement often clashed with the realities of Russia's increasingly assertive foreign policy. Trump's initial campaign promise to end the Ukraine war in 24 hours quickly gave way to a more sober acknowledgement of the conflict's complexity. As the conflict dragged on, Trump's stance continued to evolve. His administration did provide some military aid to Ukraine, but it was often accompanied by conditions that seemed designed to appease Putin. The decision to temporarily pause military aid, for instance, was widely seen as an attempt to pressure Zelensky into making concessions to Russia. This move drew sharp criticism from both Democrats and Republicans, who accused Trump of siding with an authoritarian leader over a Democratic ally. Whispers of influence: the Putin factor. Trump's relationship with Putin has been the subject of intense speculation and scrutiny. Their interactions, often characterized by an air of camaraderie, fueled concerns about Putin's influence over the former U.S. president. A series of private meetings and phone calls between the two leaders only deepened the mystery surrounding their relationship. Observers pointed to instances where Trump seemed to echo Putin's talking points, particularly on issues like NATO expansion and Ukraine's role in the conflict. Trump's public questioning of NATO's relevance and his suggestion that Ukraine should seek a peace deal with Russia, even if it meant territorial concessions, raised alarm bells among U.S. allies. These pronouncements seem to align with Russia's long-standing goal of weakening NATO and dividing the West. A troubled path: ceasefire efforts and expert opinions. Throughout the conflict, there were various attempts to broker a ceasefire and find a peaceful resolution. However, these efforts were often hampered by a lack of trust between the parties involved and the complex geopolitical realities on the ground. Experts on U.S.-Russia relations expressed deep concern over Trump's approach to the Ukraine conflict. They argued that his actions, often seen as erratic and unpredictable, played into Putin's hands and emboldened the Russian leader. They also warned that Trump's willingness to undermine U.S. alliances and his cozy relationship with Putin posed a serious threat to U.S. national security interests. The long-term consequences of Trump's moves on the Ukraine war remain to be seen. However, one thing is certain: his presidency has left an indelible mark on U.S.-Russia relations and the future of global security.